Good morning. The February 2nd, 2022 meeting of the Board of Estimates is now called to order. In the interest of promoting health and safety as we continue to deal with COVID-19 pandemic, the Board of Estimates continues to meet virtually. For members of the public that are following today's meeting, I want to let you know about a change to our schedule this morning to allow members of the board to attend a memorial service for firefighters who tragically lost their lives last week. The meeting will be placed in recess very shortly. If there are any remaining items on the agenda, which there will be, we're going to recess and reconsider those items on the next Board of Estimates meeting, which is scheduled for next Wednesday, February the 9th, same place, same time at 9 a.m. At this time, I would like to ask Comptroller Henry for any corrections, additions, or noted abstentions to today's agenda. Comptroller Henry, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, the mayor's chief of staff, Michael Huber, will be the mayor's designee, and Deputy Director Matthew Garbark will be the DPW Director's designee for today's meeting. There are no corrections. Mr. President, there's one walk-on item for the agenda today. It was submitted by my office to allow the board to receive and open bid submissions electronically. Because this is a walk-on, it will automatically be on the non-routine agenda. My office is walking this item onto the agenda because it is time critical to allow the electronic bid openings due to the current public health emergency posed by the ongoing COVID pandemic. I will now read the board memo for the record. Dear President and members, the board is requested to approve a resolution relating to the receiving and opening of bids. The amount of money and source of funds is not applicable. This resolution suspends and changes certain provisions of the Board of Estimates procurement regulations to implement a transition to an electronic process for receiving and opening of bids. Adoption of the resolution is urgent because of the need to conduct the city's business efficiently and safely during a public health emergency. The resolution requires that submissions for bids, or IFBs, and proposals, RFPs, be submitted electronically with certain exceptions. It also requires that the Comptroller's Office record bidders' names and bid prices electronically and post that information on the Comptroller's website on the day bids are due, thereby eliminating the need for a noon in-person bid opening session during the period the resolution is in effect. Because the resolution modifies certain provisions of the procurement regulations on an emergency basis, it is effective upon adoption for 90 days through May 3rd, 2022. And that is the entirety of the board resolution. Mr. President, I move that this item be included on today's agenda as a non-routine item.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The item is accepted. We will accept it onto today's agenda. Ms. Comptroller, any additional?
Yes, sir. Lots more.
Yield the floor back to you.
The board has received a protest on page 41, Department of Finance Master Services Agreement. A protest was received from Kutak Rock LLP, representing ACI Payments Incorporated. The following items are being deferred or withdrawn. Page 34, Bureau of the Budget and Management Research. Appropriation Adjustment Order 19 is being withdrawn at the request of the Deputy Director of BBMR. The following items are being moved to the non-routine agenda. Page 41, Department of Finance Master Services Agreement. A protest was received from Kutak Rock LLP, representing ACI Payments Incorporated. Page 42, Law Department Settlement Agreement and Release. Pages 51 and 52, item number 4, Bureau of Procurement B50003752, Police Human Capital Resource Management with E-Resource Planner Incorporated. Page 158, Department of Audits, Audit Report, Baltimore City Department of Public Works, Biennial Performance Audit for fiscal years ended June 30th, 2020 and 2019. No items are being moved to the routine agenda. The board has received the following abstentions from Chief of Staff Michael Huber on behalf of the mayor. Will be abstaining on pages 76 and 77, Health Department, agreement with the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine. Pages 81 and 82, Health Department, agreement with Johns Hopkins University Intensive Primary Care. Page 83, Health Department, ratification of an agreement with the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health for the Preventive Medicine Fellows Program. Page 84, Health Department affiliation agreement with the Johns Hopkins University Bloomberg School of Public Health. The Honorable President Nick Mosby is abstaining on page 115, Office of the State's Attorney for Baltimore City, grant adjustment notices. There are no other abstentions, no votes, no rejection of recommended awards. Thank you. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I do have more. Mr. President, as you know, we have postponed today's bid opening session until Wednesday, February 16th, 2022 at 12 noon. Because of the postponement, procurement issued addenda so bidders are aware their submissions aren't due until next week. I'm sorry, for 2 weeks. In an abundance of caution and to ensure a fair and transparent process, I would like to read these addenda for the record. The following bids will be opened on February 16th, 2022. Bureau of Procurement B50006231, pump maintenance, repair, and installation services. Bureau of Procurement B50006252, occupational health clinic services. Bureau of Procurement B50006265, structural maintenance and dredging services for the Inner Harbor. Bureau of Procurement B50006297, Baltimore City Shuttle Transit Services. Bureau of Procurement B50006304, Armed Security Guard Services. Bureau of Procurement B50006370, furnish and deliver various aggregates. Bureau of Procurement B50006387, lab services, specimen collection, processing, and resulting services. Bureau of Procurement B50006409, scrap tire collection, disposal, and recycling services. Bureau of Procurement B50006413, supply and install solar gain control film. Bureau of Procurement B50006425, preventive maintenance for truck scales. Bureau of Procurement B50006426, supply and delivery traffic signal cables. Bureau of Procurement B50006439, remove and dispose of animal carcasses. Bureau of Procurement B50006445, SWAT tactical vests. Bureau of Procurement B50006443, weekly trash removal for non-DGS sites. Department of Public Works, WC 1292, small water main replacements and rehabilitation at various locations, Bel Air Road area. Department of Public Works, WC 1412, urgent need water infrastructure rehabilitation and improvements, Phase 3, FY21. And last but not least, Department of Public Works, SC 1027, rehabilitation and improvements to sanitary sewers at various locations in Baltimore City. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Comptroller, for that. I now direct the board's attention to a memorandum from my office dated January the 31st, 2022, identifying matters to be considered as routine agenda items, together with any corrections and additions that have been noted by a comptroller. I will, at this point, entertain a motion to approve all items contained in the routine agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor of approving items on the routine agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The routine agenda items have been adopted.
Mr. President, I have one last, this is not a technical correction,
Yeah.
but simply an order of operations for the meeting.
Okay.
I'm realizing that the resolution that we walked on and added to the non-routine agenda, that has to be done this week before the expiration of the existing emergency. So we should probably do that before the protest to make sure we get to it.
Comptroller Bill Henry, if you were ever in track as a young child, like our mayor, they would probably smack your hand several times for always jumping the gun. That's exactly what I was about to do. But we appreciate you keeping order on this board. So that was the point of me saying point of order, but that's what we're going to do. And I appreciate you, Mr. Comptroller. So the next item for folks will be the non-routine agenda item that was walked on today is a resolution to receive and open bids exclusively by electronic transmission, except where hard copies are required by law or specific solicitation. At this time, I would like to ask Comptroller Henry to explain this resolution. Comptroller Henry, I yield the floor to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm sorry for jumping the gun, but I believe I speak for City Solicitor Shea and Deputy Director Matthew Garbark when I convey the level of eagerness I feel at the idea of moving away from in-person bid openings and towards a safer and smoother process, which we have now been working with the administration on putting together for several months. What we will be doing going forward is receiving bid submissions electronically. My staff will compile a list of bids and after they have been electronically opened, and then we will have that bid list available on the Comptroller's website. We are still working with the law department and with purchasing on other ways that we can share this information. If we continue to tweak the procurement regulations and shift the deadlines, we may even be able to get to the point where we can announce bid opening information at these 9 o'clock meetings on Wednesday morning and not have to have a separate public session. So I appreciate the board's consideration, and I especially appreciate the work that the law department has done, working with my staff to make sure that we can do all this in a way that reduces the amount of public interaction during a global pandemic, but also is a more effective and efficient way for vendors to get us their bids and also to review bids from the safety and comfort of their own working locations rather than having to trek down here to City Hall. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Comptroller. At this time, are there any questions or concerns from members of the board to the Comptroller or his office? Hearing and seeing none, at this point, I'll entertain a motion to proceed.
I move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. As we discussed at the beginning of the meeting, it's a very unique meeting, understanding, knowing the events that are taking place today as relates to the memorial service. Before we go into recess, are there any items that members of the board would like to bring up? Is there any unreadiness about moving forward into recess? Hearing and seeing none, as there's no additional business for us to take up today, we're going to recess until February the 9th at 9 a.m. to conclude this week's agenda and pick up the new items on February 9th. We will reconvene we're in recess until February the 9th at 9 a.m. to conclude this week's agenda, right? And then we'll reconvene again as the Board of Estimates for Baltimore City on Wednesday, February the 16th at 9 a.m. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Baltimore, please stay safe. We absolutely love you.